Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Quite frankly, the audience of one show is the best thing on radio. Andrew and Dick, they are quality.
Radio's version of organic human reduction. It's the audience of one show on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5 FM, streaming on irlonestar.com and available wherever you tend to get your podcasts from. On today's show, we discuss the mother of all HOV lanes being saved by a drone and a new shaving technique for men. I am Andrew, maestro of the run sheet, next to the guy who tells people his ankle monitor is a step counter. It's Dick, I'd like a woolly mammoth thong. Schisler.
Yo.
What up, man?
I just realized I didn't put on deodorant. I hate that feeling.
You just realized.
I just realized it.
It's awfully late in the afternoon to just be realizing it.
Well,
I think you may have had a late alarm clock today.
I worked from home today, so I was just doing all my chores, so this weekend I actually have a free weekend.
I guess I should be thankful that you're actually wearing pants.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, if you were working
I
from
am
home,
wearing pants I never wear.
Have you ever done that? Left the house and realized you weren't wearing pants?
No.
Yeah.
But deodorant.
Me neither.
100% deodorant.
Yeah. I thought you would be, speaking of wearing clothes, I thought you would be dressed all in black today.
Why?
Today is National Goth Day. That's right.
There's a National
We're
Goth
celebrating
Day?
all things goth as we record here May 22nd.
Well, I have a black woolly.
Black woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
It's on underneath.
It's
No, it's for real,
a Merca. Is that what it is?
Merkin.
Merkin.
Yes.
Just my
Your black Merkin.
Black Merkin.
No, it is National Goth Day. So
that's funny.
I'm celebrating.
So again, this goes with our ongoing deal.
Correct.
Well, we have see that'd be. So would you rather do the month themes or the day themes?
I think day themes are better.
But there's so much planning into that, though.
Well, I suppose it depends on what it is. Yeah, goth. Look, I ain't dressing up like a goth man.
Well, no, but that's part of our agreement.
But it doesn't say as part of National Goth Day that you have to dress up like one. You just have to celebrate it.
Well,
I'm with you.
Where
pale one with dark hair. Yeah. Cinco de Mayo's in here. We could have done that. Of course, that's also in May.
But no, I think
I
think that's something we need to do. I think that'd be important, especially what we should do is whatever the show we record on, the day we record on, that's what we should celebrate.
It's actually today. It is today.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so we'll look up next time.
Gotcha.
Let's see what day is it. Hot dog day. We're eating a hot dog.
Well, Dick, have you been vigilant this past week?
Sure.
On the lookout. You know, we had some escapees from the New Orleans prison.
Oh, cool.
You heard about this, right?
No,
10 of them.
I haven't really. I have not paid attention to the news.
I've been under a rock, Schisler. It's been all over the news, man.
I had a heavy weekend. I went to that crawfish deal. I was outside all day.
Heavy.
And I ate all. I wonder how much I really ate, because since it was a cook-off, we couldn't really order by the pound. You just get these little baskets, and I probably had 30 baskets.
Good God. Okay, so I guess I will give you a pass as to not knowing.
But
that
this
we had
week has been
10
weird.
Escaped convicts, all of which were murderers, I believe. These were bad dudes, man. And what's funny is that apparently they escaped from their prison. They ripped a toilet off the wall, and there was a hole left in the wall, and they were able to easily get out. They wrote on the wall, though, I love this, "Too easy, LOL," but not TOOTO, like it's a love letter. Dear Easy, Thank you for allowing me to escape. It is a bit cocky, you know. It's a little bit Wet Bandits like.
What that reminds me of is I used to play a video game with a dude, and he would piss off people because at the end of the match, he'd be like, "GG easy."
GG Easy?
Yeah, good game, easy.
Oh, that is cocky,
and people really hated it, and they always message us after we leave the lobby and like, "Screw you, dude! You think you're good?" Blah, blah, blah.
Ain't that easy, bro?
I liked it. It brings up why I like online gaming, because you get a 12-year-old pissed off.
Yeah. Yes, that is part of the glory of it, isn't it? Well, apparently there were some pretty good rewards for these guys, so I've been on the lookout, man. I think it was like $25,000 per person. Have you ever met anybody who has ever gotten a reward for turning
No.
someone in? I think it's a lot harder to collect on that cash than they make
Where's
it
Dog?
seem.
Where's Dog the
We
bounty
do
hunter?
need Dog the Bounty Hunter when you need him. Still probably mourning the loss of his wife.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She died like 7 years ago.
Oh. Well, again, I'm under a rock.
No, but it's interesting. I've never met anybody who's ever gotten a reward. It kind of reminds me of like the class action lawsuit things you'll get in the mail. It'll be like a little card. It's like, have you shopped at Best Buy in the last 7 years? You're like, well, yeah, I have. You may be eligible for compensation for a class action lawsuit. And then you start reading the fine print, and it's like average payout $15 to $20.
You know, I actually got one of those.
The juice ain't worth the squeeze. Screw it. And you just throw it right in the trash.
You know,
But I probably
you
should
know,
be-
I've gotten one of those
Because the less people do it, the more money goes out to the people who actually do. You got a class action lawsuit.
yeah,
Or you mean you
I
participated?
redeemed it.
And how much did you get?
I got $50.
Hell yeah, you did. For what?
To be honest, I don't fully understand what happened.
Well, I guess, are you comfortable
so-
admitting this on the air?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I got
so
money, but I
you know
don't
the
know why.
you know the shoes I like, the Hey Dudes.
Yes.
So when they were first started,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I bought them from their website. And this is like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And I get an email from the like the Treasury of whatever.
Very vague, very generic. Continue.
Well, whoever the compliance people are, the government has.
I think it's actually called Commerce Chamber of whatever.
Treasure or something, something like that. And it
I
looked,
think you had it right. You nailed it.
well, it looked completely fake. And it said like, "Hey, we understand that you ordered a pair of Hey Dudes on this date, and apparently they did some suspicious advertising. I didn't fully because I didn't do their deal, whatever their deal they were running." And so they'd be like, "Hey, if you bought shoes between this time and this time off their website."
And
you-
now your information is on the dark web. But hey, you got $50.
No, I'm sitting there going like, how is this real? So I looked it up and it was legit. I went to the .gov site and it was like, oh, okay. So I created an all new PayPal account
Just for that.
without connecting to a bank, without doing anything to send it to it, just in case,
Right.
case. And then
Don't want anybody accessing your own PayPal account to steal money from you. Set it up, and lo and behold, $50 showed up in there a few
and
weeks
then
later.
to make sure it was real,
Mhm.
I just said I request a check from PayPal. I think through PayPal you can request a check.
Okay.
We pay like $3.
You have been vigilant, just in a whole another way.
Oh yeah, and I was like, all right. And then the check came, and I was like, it was real. It was real. So just to let the government know, it looks fake. Whatever you send, it looks totally.
They really do. Now, the only one I can remember ever participating in was what has been known as the largest class action lawsuit in the history of the United States. And that was the one against Facebook about 2 years ago. Do you remember this? It was something about a breach of privacy and information. There was a huge class action lawsuit. And apparently, the longer you had your account, the more money you were available to get. I actually went in and filled it out and signed it up. I never got anything back. Never heard hide nor hair from them. So, again, now my information's on the
Well,
dark
that's what
web.
was scary about this. It was instant. Like I got within an hour of filling out the form, I got it in that PayPal account,
Dang.
and that's when I was like, oh, this is a scam, because this is when they said like, hey, we
Usually it's not that fast.
yeah, and
Look at you.
it was pretty
And
fun.
now you peaked there. You've been waiting for the next one to come through, huh?
Well, I still buy Hey Dudes.
See.
I still don't understand what they did. I still like it was something about if you bought one, you get one free, but you don't get it free today. You get it in 6 months, because it was like when they first started, and I guess their inventory didn't meet demand, and they never sent the shoes that people were supposed to get for free.
The nerve of those people.
Something like that. I don't know. But
I
yeah.
don't know. You quickly drank that $50, so
Yeah. I gotta pay for everyone's beer all the time.
you're such a nice guy. Hey, Dick, I know this has probably happened to you. It happened to me. It happens almost every time when I'm looking up a recipe online. Say I want a recipe for, I don't know, some cheesy chicken enchiladas. And you find the thing on Google, you click on it, and it goes on and on and on before it actually gets to the recipe. It's like, this recipe is a great dish for feeding a large group
I
or a
feel-
small group. I tend to get my groceries here.
Yeah, I know what you're
And
talking
it
about.
just goes on and on. And
All the
like, just
websites like
give
that.
me the damn ingredients and tell me how to make it. Half the time I've gotten through a whole thing and I don't even know what the thing. I just go to the next one. Like, I don't even know where the actual recipe part is. You're just telling me all about how it's great in the springtime and the kids just love it. Oh my God.
Well, those are all the websites you go to that you link.
These are the ones I link to in this show.
Yeah, they're terrible when I'm trying to like show people stuff.
It's the way it works.
But
man.
you
It's the way it works.
overall, I mean, we're almost to summer, dude.
Yeah, the official start to summer is this week. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The unofficial start to summer is this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, right? And then the official one is sometime in the June 21st or something like that. Yeah.
So, recently what my favorite thing is happening for the past week is everyone's graduating, correct, from high school?
Not everyone.
Well, yeah, some losers. But
there are some of us who struggled with that,
yeah.
okay, Dick?
I couldn't read. What's interesting, though, I found myself in several scenarios overhearing high schoolers graduating and talking about what they're going to do.
I love the fact that you found yourself in scenarios overhearing teenagers talking about graduating.
Well, one was at the bowling alley because I was at the front desk.
Not
and they're
creepy at all.
Well,
Continue.
They're loud. They don't care.
That's what it is.
And it's so stereotypical. Everything was great. And then the next one was I had a late dinner at Whataburger, and I sat inside because I wanted to sit inside. And I was just me eating by myself. And then all these graduation kids would come in and just be yelling and talking.
Found yourself around a group of teenage kids again, did you?
Yeah, it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the stuff I can't say on the air because some of it was really funny because I was like, man, I never thought I was that cool in high school. Because one guy was talking about so much game he's going to get.
Oh, yeah. They got so much riz these days, all these teenagers.
Yeah. Well, I can kind of understand their
They're
dialogue.
quite swaggy, as it's called, right? Swaggy?
Yeah. There's
They
only
think they are anyways.
one kid was really funny because everyone's like, well, so what are you going to do? And one kid just goes straight up. He goes, I'm just going to improve my golf game.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And he's going to school. He's like, yeah, I'm going to school. But I think.
And what's cool about it, Dick, is you can actually ask him every week how his golf game is improving when you see him behind the counter of Circle K and you're buying your gas and your dip because that's where he's going to be.
Where else can I listen to kids graduating and talking about their futures?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. Just Whataburger.
Oh, I wonder if Kermit the Frog gave his commencement speech. Remember we talked about that a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It was going to be at the University of Maryland, I believe. You were pro Frog. I was anti Frog. I wonder if he's now given his commencement
Well, if
speech.
anything, they can do whatever you want because more likely than not, I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, so I do find
like
that
when I had my
interesting
commencement, I was like, I don't want to be. I'm
that
not.
you had strong opinions thinking it was great, but yet you weren't going to show up. So really, your opinion shouldn't count.
If you want, people like that stuff though. Like I remember when I graduated, I didn't even want to be there. I was I remember calling my parents because like graduation was like in a week and a half, and I was like, can I just come home and like
it's
start
weird
work?
when you were a teenager, you didn't want to be around other teenagers, but now
I'm
find yourself with them all the time.
It's really weird. I'm looking for Chris Hansen like every corner. I'm like, this is punked, right? But no, yeah, I remember I was like, I don't want to be here, like, especially when like because graduating is such a freedom feeling, and it's kind of one of those things like I've been working so hard at this. Why would I want to be here any more than I have to? Like I'm already done.
I don't think it's for you. I think it's for the parents. You know.
Well, actually, that's why I had to go to graduation.
That's right,
my
because your grandparents were there. Yeah.
Because I didn't know they were even coming.
Just suck it up and go, dude.
That really ruined my plans.
Yeah, like
too.
you really had anything else and any better place to be. Come on.
Yeah, I had a job. I wanted to work. I wanted to like start my my party life.
Right. You were going to work on your golf game, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought that was an innuendo for something.
Yeah, it may have been.
Seriously,
he may have been seeing if you were going to take the bait.
This guy over here can help me with my golf game. Jesus. But yeah, so
nice pair of hey dudes.
Did you have a good weekend though?
I honestly don't even remember. I think I did.
Anything think you did?
I don't think I did much of anything.
Yeah, I was outside. I got sunburned.
But I do have some plans for this weekend. Going down to Rockport for the Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, that's right. It's Memorial Day Monday.
I will report back on how big of a party it is down there, baby. Oh yeah.
Why are you going there? Just for family stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was invited.
Why is Memorial Day always? It's so strange to me that people go on like little vacations for that.
It's a 3-day weekend, baby.
I know, but it's like it's Memorial Day. Like we're supposed to. That's for the dead folks.
It is, yes, Dick. But you started off with National Goth Day,
Yeah,
and then ended with Memorial Day.
Well, shout out to the Veterans Commission here in Montgomery County. They're having a great ceremony that's happening on Monday. It's right at 10
out at the
a.m.
park.
At the park. You
I
ever been?
figured.
Have you been to that park?
I
yet?
have.
Why would you go to the park?
To eat my dinner alone. Once somebody very wise once told me that was a good place to eat your dinner by yourself.
Nothing
It's
wrong,
the park.
Nothing wrong with that, dude.
All right, buddy, let's go ahead and kick off this show. Is the show music going to work? Yeah! Dang, dude, look at that. We look so prepared, so profesh. This show is so smooth running, baby.
Audience of One show.
A bill passed by the House right here in the state of Texas would allow mothers to use the HOV lane regardless of how many people are in the car. The bill originally only covered pregnant women, but was amended to cover all mothers. The bill was referred
That's
to as
strange.
the Senate Transportation Committee.
I think that's crossing the line.
I do find this interesting because coming off the heels of Mother's Day, and we all love our mothers, but this is a bit odd. And I think this is going to make this really difficult to enforce.
My mom
yes.
was upset that I didn't do anything for Mother's Day.
She was out of the country.
She's out of the country.
Like that's a whole new thing of like different zip codes.
She made a comment to all of us saying like, "Hey, I'm back. It was great to for everyone saying Happy Mother's Day to me." And I'm like,
the roaming charges, Mom.
Yeah,
I was
sitting
trying
there,
to
it's
save
like-
you a buck.
I'm like, "Hey, Mom, I could be in the clink right now. I'm not. So
You
the
could.
Happy Mother's Day."
Happy Mother's Day. Well, the House on Saturday passed a bill that allows a woman who is pregnant, a parent or legal guardian to use a high occupancy vehicle lane regardless of who is in the car. Now, this is kind of weird, and I kind of feel like this is going to defeat the purpose of the HOV lane altogether. Because, one, in this day and age when a man can have can have a baby, and we're making laws based off of gender seems awfully dicey. And are you going to pull someone over and be like, hey, show me the pictures, the Olin Mills pictures of your kids? Like, you're not just going to randomly pull some woman over and demand
Well,
that
again,
she
I
shows
think
you.
this crossed the line. I can understand pregnant women because technically there's two people in the
This
car.
is correct.
So I would have just left it at that. Like, you can't really argue that logic. But now it's going to be all women.
Any woman. Well, no.
Mothers.
Mothers. But see, now that's, again, going to get dicey. What if you have a 35-year-old woman? Maybe she's had trouble conceiving, you know? And she's not allowed to get in that HOV lane. She would like to get in that HOV lane. She is a woman, but she'll never be able to use that HOV lane. I don't think it's right, Dick. I don't think
Well,
it's
next
right.
thing you know, the state of Texas will require you on your license to say mother.
Uh-oh. I can picture you getting all gussied up and put on a nice wig and a dress. Where are you going? I'm going out to the HOV lane, baby.
I honestly, I don't use the HOV lane.
You just use the shoulder?
Yeah. No, every time I use the HOV lane here in Houston and in the Woodlands and stuff, it never works out the way you want it to work out.
What do you mean?
Well, like either someone in front of you is going 50 miles an hour and right to your right is the fast lane, or someone's riding your butt while you're going 85.
Right, you're not going fast enough.
And I'm like, this is too much anxiety for me right now. I have to manage this, and I'm just going to get out of this lane.
Yeah, I don't think this is enforceable, man. I can't believe they're doing this. I mean, look, I understand that women have it tough. Mothers have a tough job, and they've got to get to work, and they maybe need to get there quickly because they were dealing with little bratty kids all day. I got it, but you can't have
And I actually
a
got
lane
pulled over because of the HOV
just
lane.
for a certain gender or someone presenting as a certain gender. That's going to make it really sticky. You got pulled over what now?
Because of the HOV lane.
Because of it.
Yeah. So officers were pulling someone over, and the guy decided to use the HOV lane because there wasn't a shoulder at this certain section.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how there's that relatively new law where if you're passing a siren vehicle, you're supposed to slow down to like 35 miles an hour if you're the lane.
Yeah, I think it's 15 below the speed limit at
15,
a minimum
yeah,
or
something like that. Well,
something.
I was 2 lanes over,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going 65, 70.
Yeah, you were.
And he pulled me over, and I was like, I wasn't speeding. And he's like, oh, no, you didn't slow down to minus 15. And I'm like, well, you're in the HOV lane. There's 3 lanes between us.
You should have been wearing that dress and wig, dude. That would have
So
pushed them together a little bit.
I don't know why I got pulled over. He didn't
Wink
give me a
at him.
ticket. That was so weird. I was like, why are you wasting our time, dude?
Did he even give you a warning?
He just said, like, don't do that. I go, okay.
right.
I didn't even know I did anything wrong. Like, I understand, like, being in the lane next to the siren vehicle, but I wasn't. So I was like, what do you want me to do, dude?
Well, in 2022, Brandy Batone was 34 weeks pregnant when she was pulled over and given a ticket for driving alone in the HOV lane on Highway 75. Batone said she was allowed to drive there because her fetus should count as a passenger. She argued that because Roe v. Wade was overturned, her baby was a person. And that's kind of where this all started. So thanks a lot, Brandy.
I wonder if that was worth it, getting out of a ticket.
I mean, you'll have to ask her.
Because I always feel like if you say something like that, you're being a smart ass to the officer.
Yeah, you run a risk there.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, just take the ticket.
But I do think it's a lot.
But now she changed the law. Look at her.
I do think it's okay for pregnant women because, again, that's a lot easier to detect. You pull someone over and you look down and go, ah. Now, granted, you could, I mean, I guess you could argue I'm 4 weeks pregnant or something. You can't tell. But for the most part.
She just left Dick's house.
But
pregnant.
When it's. Yeah, ma'am, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to the mall. Mm-hmm. Where did you come from? Dick's house.
Oh, yeah.
You may proceed.
One of those again. But no, I like how this is actually that they took the time to make a law, and then one person in the room is like, whoa,
not enough. Not enough.
All mothers.
Yeah, that sounds like to me someone who's past the age of bearing children but still wants to drive in the HOV lane. That's what that sounds like to me.
But what happens if they're surrogates?
Ooh, good point. Oh, I think it still counts. Why not?
They're not technically the mother.
HOV for you. HOV for you. Yeah, I mean, I think they're
No, the only
mothers.
person not going to give it to us is us, these white dudes.
We have it so tough being white men.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how hard it is.
Again, the
to
HOV
be
lane.
White men in America.
Oh no, so what's funny is if there's listeners of Wednesdays out there who live in a big metropolitan area, like I don't even understand how the HOV lane works in Houston. Because they have
Shocker.
they have gates and stuff.
Sometimes they do. Yeah, for the express.
So
lanes, yeah.
I'm just sitting there going like,
That's when they're closed.
I know, but
Not difficult.
like the one in the Woodlands is just like an extra lane. You can like go in and out.
Yeah, that's HOV. You're comparing HOV to express lanes.
Oh, that's an
lanes
express
are,
lane?
Yeah, are not always the same as HOV lanes. HOV is high occupancy. Express is typically a tolled.
Because I imagine the
lane.
I-10 HOV lane, or that's a is that an HOV lane on I-10 going to Katy, or is that a toll road? Because it's just another lane. There's no indication of like
I
what.
think that's-
It's just another lane. There's like you can literally go back and forth.
Yeah, I think that's HOV.
Okay.
I think so. We got to get moving. A signboard in Sweden has gone viral, Dick, and I want you to show this picture to the onesies, leaving the internet as well as me very amused. The sign reads, fart control, and control is spelled with a K, which might sound humorous in English, but in Swedish, fart simply means speed.
That's actually pretty.
It is awesome.
baller.
And I have been to Sweden, actually.
Do you realize how much?
I don't
how fast you were farting?
Ma'am, clearly we can only fart at 55 kilometers per hour. I don't remember seeing any of these signs in Sweden. I wish I would have, or else I would have taken some pictures of them, unless this is a relatively new thing. I can't imagine this is a new type of sign. I think it's just now someone decided to put it on the interwebs. But this is really, really funny.
Yeah.
And it also extends, if you want to scroll down in that picture, perhaps you remember the 1994 movie thriller starring Keanu Reeves called Speed. Well, apparently the movie poster in Sweden, yes, had a picture of said Keanu Reeves with the bus that could not go below 55 miles an hour with the word fart.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. That made my day right there. Like I want to find a print of this and get it to my buddy.
I don't think it would be too difficult.
Well, he's like a movie buff, and he'd be like, "You're making a joke." I'm like, "Nope, this
No,
is
bro.
Swedish poster, dude."
I'm just international, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Florida shark fisherman, is credited with saving a teenage girl. Oh, someone after your own heart. Trapped in a rip current. You ever seen a rip current before, Dick? It's pretty vicious, man. When I went to Florida last summer, we were not allowed to get in the water because of rip currents. And they're pretty easily identifiable because you'll see a normal wave coming in, but then there will be a break in the wave where the water's actually going back out. And if you get caught in one of those, it could spell the end. It can be dangerous. You have to tread water. Eventually, you'll get out of it. They move and they go away, but you have to tread water sometimes upwards of 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes till it finally goes away. And of course, most people can't do that.
So a drone did it?
So, well, yeah, bury the lead there, dude. But he never stepped foot in the water. Instead, he used his drone to get a flotation device out to her as she was being pulled away from the shore. A moment that was captured on video. Although I don't have the video in this article, which was pretty lame.
No, what I'm amazed is the guy who... Look at this dude.
Yeah, he's a little interesting looking.
Did you ever see that Fred Durst directed movie with John Travolta? I don't know what it was called, but all right. So I want you to look at this guy. I put the video up for
okay.
our
Go ahead,
YouTube. So there,
commentate.
see this guy right here? That's the guy who saved the day.
He does look like he would be a good coder.
Okay.
It says, I was sitting there and this girl came running, asking if anybody could swim, and I said no. I absolutely could not swim. She was running and screaming, and nobody could swim, he said. Well, I thought that was funny. He was like, no, can't swim, bruh. Can't do it. But he actually does have a rare medical condition because he has a seizure disorder. So, okay, he was telling the truth. But he did say, I got a drone, baby. And he was able to pick up a flotation device, go out there. The first time he dropped it in front of her and missed. He said he was so nervous, his hands were shaking. But then the second time, success. Dropped it right there on her. She was able to hold on to it till the rip current went away, and she lived. He saved her life. Her dad calls him her guardian angel.
All right, look at this guy.
I'm looking at him now. Yes, there is a striking resemblance
That's
between
John Travolta.
John Travolta in this movie that you're referring to and this shark fisherman. Well, the shirt is almost identical.
I know, dude.
He kind of looks like a combination of Kip from...
There's him.
Yeah.
And... where is it?
Yeah, he kind of looks like Kip from, what was the Napoleon Dynamite? A little bit. Kind of a more manlier version. If Kip Dynamite was a shark fisherman, perhaps he would look like that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, there is a resemblance there. I can't believe... What movie is this?
It's called The Fanatic, or Fanatic.
The Fanatic.
Right. Fred Durst directed it.
Interesting. I wonder how that movie went.
Pretty terrible.
Yeah. A Texas man is suing Whataburger, alleging that when he requested no onions with his meal, he got them anyway, equating to negligence on the chain's part. Now, when I first read this, I thought, bruh, give me a break. But apparently he has such a strong allergic reaction to onions that he required medical attention after eating said onions from Whataburger. All right, bro. Here's the thing.
They even have a sticker. It says no onions on it.
Right? If your allergy is that bad to the point where you're going to need medical attention, don't you think you're going to just lift the corner of the bun up, do a quick check, just to make sure there ain't no onions
He's
on
a
it?
risk taker. Russian roulette every day.
Well, then he needs to just accept the consequences of said risk.
Especially
then.
fast food, too.
But here's what I'm going to think, or here's what I'm thinking, is this guy could literally go get lunch at fast food, 5 different fast food restaurants every day of the week. There's probably a greater than zero, probably upwards of 20% chance he can order something without onions, and it's getting onions, dude. And this guy's suing for $1 million.
$1 million? That's not bad. Go for it, dude.
Nah, come on. I'm sorry. There's an expectation, I think, at a fast food
restaurant.
restaurant.
Yeah, but it's easy for you to say you didn't almost die.
No, but I think if I had, I would understand that I've got to check, bro. I've got to check. Now, if I didn't know I had that allergy and I asked for, well, no, even then, that still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the sad part about
Contradicted myself.
Because I feel like this has already happened before. Like people trying to sue restaurants for serving whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder where it's going to go, because there's definitely a case law on this exact thing.
Oh, I'm sure. And, he sues for $1 million, but you know how it is. They settle for $500,000. Lawyers get most of that. After taxes, he's probably left with about $750, which covers his deductible. He's probably not going to make anything on it. But I just think this seems like an awfully... Seems like...
so this gets... this.
I'm just saying,
this gets me thinking. So imagine... there's probably a movie prompt about this, but imagine being wronged by some company.
Uh-huh.
I always imagine myself, like, say I went to Whataburger and they wronged me in some way. And
they gave you onions.
Well, no, like an actual, like, they wronged me somehow.
This guy would beg to differ with you. He said he had medical trauma. They did wrong him. Anyways, go ahead.
I'm just kidding. They did wrong him. But...
yeah, pick a side here.
We're
flip-flopping. I love this.
For the sake of this the thing I'm trying to say is
In the stupid show. Yeah.
I would 100% not want any money. I would do like, just give me a Whataburger card. Then I can get free Whataburger for the rest of my life.
Now, here's the serendipity of this. You get a free Whataburger card, and you go in there on the third time. You get another hamburger with onions on it. Then what are you going to do? Dang it.
No onions.
Yeah, right. Wink, wink, wink. Oh,
Well, that's the next story that's going to come out. This is
Alice, I'm coming to see you.
This is going to be an inside job.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah,
maybe
the cook and him are like brothers or something. And he knew.
It's kind of like the McDonald's thing where they had an inside job. What was it, the Monopoly?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an inside job. All right, I'm going to be very, very delicate with this next story because it probably should have gone after the 55-minute mark now that I think about it, but it's so great.
Did you see that documentary?
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't see it. I know it came out a couple years ago. It was like a YouTube documentary.
No, it was on HBO. It was on HBO.
Netflix,
what was fascinating about it might have been Netflix. I don't know, whatever it was. But what was fascinating about it was when they were talking about getting if anyone doesn't know what the Monopoly game at McDonald's is, when you like get a drink, there's little stickers that you peel off and you'll get a Monopoly game piece. The way they were talking about transferring these, like there's $6 million stickers. And the way they're talking about how to transport it. And it's like these briefcases, and they change briefcases. They have security. And I'm thinking to myself, like, all for a little tiny sticker.
Mm-hmm. That in and of itself is worthless.
Yeah, it's just funny to me.
It's a piece of paper.
But what they did it. They had a great scam. They're like one for you, one for the actual winner, which is really funny. And and they were giving them to their uncles and stuff, so they couldn't be tied back to it.
Yeah, really, yeah. No one will ever notice.
And then the only reason they got caught is the one stupid head started selling them.
Well, I thought all the winners were within like the same town too.
No, it was just they started giving to their family members. So it's like, hey, you want a boat? You want a boat? Here you go. But then someone started selling them. But like, hey, I got a $2,500 sticker winner. I'll sell it to you for $1,000.
Was it worth it? Now that he's sitting in federal prison, I want to get this story in, man. This was very delicate.
Can you imagine getting one of those and pretending to win?
What do you mean?
Well, like say you won the boat, and the guy gave you the sticker.
Well, I mean, you did,
and you have to pretend.
You don't have to pretend.
You have to pretend.
You have to pretend it was on the up and up.
Yeah, you're like, oh, a boat.
Wow, cool. It's got a Yamaha 125 outboard by chance. All right, again, I'm going to get the story in before the break. Sir, you've never
eaten at McDonald's.
This story is probably the reason why the audience of one show exists. But Slidell, I believe this is in Louisiana. Slidell police, responding to a call at a Lowe's parking lot on Sunday evening, reportedly found a naked man inside a display shed.
Oh, the outside ones in the parking lot?
Engaged in lewd behavior, yes. So as you know, when you pull up like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, they will have the sheds out in the parking lot.
Have you ever
on
seen?
Display.
Have you ever had that personal encounter with like lewd stuff going on?
No, but somebody did just last week because a witness reported a naked man inside one of the store's tool sheds, which are typically used. Blah blah blah. Once the officers arrived at the scene and began searching the line of sheds on display, it wasn't until the fourth or fifth shed that they located the suspect lying on his back, pants around his ankles, an open container of Vaseline, and an electronic device which he was using to fill in the blank.
Wow! So they had working electricity on the sheds, or is that?
I'm sure it was
battery operated.
Now, who knows what he could have possibly been doing out there? I mean, any number of things, right?
I like it.
I mean, just because he has his pants off, and just because he has Vaseline doesn't mean anything, Dick. I don't know where your mind is going, but okay, you said you have run into somebody doing some lewd acts inside of a Lowe's storage shed before.
No, not necessarily a Lowe's. By
the way, we love you, Lowe's. If you want to sponsor,
there was. I went to Houston to visit some friends, and I wanted to check out this place called Pitch 25. And it's owned by a former Houston Dynamo player, and it's supposed to be a cool little. They have like an indoor soccer deal, and they have an outdoor. I don't know how to say, but it was one of those nights that got really cold really fast, so no one was outside. And I was like, I want to go sit outside because it feels really nice, and it's like 40 something degrees. And I'm sitting there, and in front of me is my buddy, and behind him, all the way in the back, was a couple, and I kept seeing her hair being flipped, and I was like. I did this little, the neck thing, and I'm like, what's going on over there? And I go, hey, Clevon, turn around. What's going on over there? And he looked because he had a better view, and he like his face when he turned around to my face, he's like, "They are having sex," and I go, "No way, man, no way." And ironically, you're gonna love how much of a creeper I am. I have my camera get up with me because I was going around downtown taking photos. So I got the lens out and I zoomed in, and it was legit. It was like they were
impressive.
She was straddling them, and
okay, all right, we got it.
It was happening.
We got it. Yeah.
In the middle of this bar restaurant because no one was outside, so no one really knew because they like the way it was designed.
Well, this guy did not have a partner; he was going solo. But I just think that is amazing. I can't imagine. First of all, I can't imagine opening up one of them sheds and going, "Yep, this is the place." How did he decide? Did he think like a double door?
What I love is I imagine someone like you going like, "Man, I really need to get a shed. I'm gonna go by Lowe's and see if it fits. Like if it fits my dimensions,
so to speak."
So you go to the shed and you're like, get your tape out and you're like, "All right, this will fit. Let's see what's how much room's inside." And you open it and he's like, "What?" And you're like, what's that vibrating noise?
All right. It's a pretty good time to take a break. When we come back, we are going to discuss just what is trending. Stay around, guys. Stick around, whatever.
Car enthusiasts of Conroe, FM 104.5 and 106.1 Lone Star Community Radio invites you to shift into gear every Monday from 1 to 2 with Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy for news on all things automotive in the greater Houston-Conroe area. Can't make a live show? We've got you covered. You can find all of our uncut content, including full episodes on Spotify, iTunes, Play Store, YouTube, Facebook, and irlonestar.com. Again, that's Mondays 1 to 2, Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy. See you there.
Oh yeah, we're back for part 2 of Audience of One. Here every Friday at 10 a.m. on podcasts. Just look us up, or YouTube, Lone Star Community Radio. Now, let's get on with the show, because we went a little long in that first part.
Yeah, we did. You know, I'm very proud of you. You actually had my mic up this entire time and trusted me not to speak during your little intro there. Last week you muted me.
Gotcha.
Last week you muted me. You know, I feel like, at the start of our show, we had a nice little tribute from the 45th and 47th president. Thank you, Sir Donald Trump. But I feel like the Donald Trump impersonation has replaced the Schwarzenegger impersonation. Like, everybody's got a Schwarzenegger impersonation, right? Or had one. And now it seems like everybody does.
It's not a
Trump.
Trump.
Right. And it's just so annoying. Now everybody does a Trump, and they do it so half-assed, too. And all you got to do is just throw in, like, bigly or huge, talk a little gravelly, say everything's the best. See, I'm guilty of it right there. Everybody's got a Trump impersonation now. Yeah. It's kind of annoying. I vow to not do it for at least a few weeks. Or say the word China.
Well, anytime I hear China or huge, my mind immediately is China. That's great.
It is great. Dick, when did we start using the word protein in replacement of meat? You know what I'm saying?
When neurodivergent became a word.
Touche. You may have a point there. I think there might be a correlation in timing between those two things.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like, you go to a restaurant, and I seem to remember it kind of popping up at, like, those build-your-own salad places, or like, one of these places, Mongolian Grill, where they use the word generically to mean meat, like chicken or beef or tofu.
Yeah, I get you.
Pick your protein.
Pick your protein,
and
dog.
I was fine with that, right? I was fine with that. But I heard on the radio the other day an advertisement, and I said, okay, this has got to stop. So I wrote this down. It's gone too far. The advertisement said, "Welcome the warm weather by grilling our premium proteins over the grill." Bro, grill our premium proteins? I bet you I know what you're thinking right now. I got some premium proteins for you.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like when they put natural flavors on stuff.
It's like wait, if it's natural, you shouldn't have to add it.
Yeah, it's like, wait a second.
natural.
How does that work? Yeah, I mean, protein.
It's just annoying. Did I just hear that
think
right?
I'm going to use that now, just to annoy you. If we ever eat anywhere, I'm like, hey.
Wait, what protein you got there on that burger?
Did you get mustard on that protein? How'd you get that protein cooked?
You like your protein medium well?
Yeah, I think it's kind of silly.
It is silly. Anyways, like I said, a good thing taken too far.
Well, could you call? I mean, I guess it's kind of a universal word because for vegetarians, right? I guess that's where it came from.
Yeah. I mean, because vegetarians typically have a hard time getting protein, so you
they-
got to get it from
So they call
tofu or
Yeah.
soy or
So they don't want to be
soybeans.
judged. They're like, "Oh yeah, I have my protein. Don't worry."
I
And you're like,
suppose.
"Oh, what was it?
Choose-
Tofu?
Cho-
That's a protein."
choose your protein.
Yeah, I get you, man.
I don't know.
The
just
world's a
sounds weird.
fun place. I
It
wouldn't
is.
worry about it. Neurodivergent. Sounds
Frankly, it's a great place these
sounds like a
days.
sci-fi movie.
It's the best place. Simply the best. Dick, is it illegal? Is it illegal to put something on YouTube detailing how to do something illegal?
Yeah, I think it is.
So, like, detailing how to hotwire a car,
I think no, because you
Or
can
to
do
get in-
lock picking.
get into high school
You
graduation,
can do lock picking.
get into high school
You ever watch the
graduation,
lock picking
something
guy?
like that. No,
The lock picking lawyer, good YouTube channel.
lock picking lawyer.
Yeah.
Well, he's a lawyer. He probably knows the rules then.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so you imagine, because like I remember him one episode, he was describing he does reviews for new locks,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, I'm showing people how to break these locks that are brand new, and like Master Lock's not gonna like it, but people need to know how to secure their.
So, is it illegal to pick a lock? I'm going to say no.
No,
Because if it is your own lock and you need to
but
get in,
it's illegal to be like, hey, this is how you build a gun.
but can you have a video of that? Probably not on YouTube because it's violent, right? Like, could you technically say, here's how to bury a body so that no one will find it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm curious.
but you.
I need to know.
But you see, what you do is there's always a workaround because you just do it with Lego men.
Oh, yes, it's a simulation.
Yeah. Duh.
So, what illegal activity would you describe, Dick? Without getting in trouble, of course.
I don't know. I
No,
don't really do.
I figured you'd have something top of mind.
I don't know. Well, I mean, like, because there's always these little things where you're trying to educate people about the law. Like, hey, this is how you get out of a DUI. And it's like, well, is that really
Yes,
like the
no.
basis of that's not very positive? But then again, like,
No, but see, you still are going to a court of law. I think that's just telling you basically the tips and pointers and things. I don't know.
I don't know, like
That wouldn't be a
how
good
to
one.
get it across the border.
Like the one
That's
I
what
said
I
was
would
hot
do.
wiring.
That's
But I guess
what I would do. I go, hey, the opening video, like, hey, Trump's president now, so now it's harder to get into the country. I'll show you how to get in the country.
there you go. That might be a good one.
So that's a good one.
Because hot wiring a car, the example I used, again, probably is not illegal. What if it's your own car?
yeah.
It's not illegal to hot wire your own car. So I guess there's a fine line there.
Well,
Unless,
I think there might have been a court case about this.
ooh, I bet there was.
Because-
Well, I tried to look it up
Because
and couldn't find
John
anything.
Deere has a certain ownership patents over their software for their tractors, like for big farmers. And I remember there being a case because the guy would show you how to override the code so you didn't need the subscription or whatever that John Deere required.
There
you
you
know.
go. Now that
So I remember seeing
That's a
something
good
about
one.
that. Because he's like,
did
this
he
is-
get in trouble?
yeah, I think like he got sued and yeah. Because another guy
Makes
got
sense on that one.
another guy got in trouble because Apple owns like 98% of their layout on their laptops and computers and stuff. So they don't share the schematics, the board placements, and all the boards, like all the circuit boards. So this guy literally mapped out his own circuit board and was sharing the data plans online.
Yeah, probably can't do that either.
And he's a technician. He you could send him your MacBook and he fixes it for you. So he's like, it sucks to fix these new MacBooks because they don't give you the layout. So I just
yeah.
made my own. I was like, I troubleshooted the whole board and I made my own layout. And he was showing people how to fix it.
Got in trouble.
And he got in trouble.
I am amazed, kind of on this same subject, that
Right
people
to
are
repair. Look it up.
right to repair.
Because it's one of the same things similar in the John Deere world. Because John Deere basically like that's a really.
I think anytime there's a patent or something,
No,
some sort
that's
of
what I'm saying.
proprietary
It's
information,
really interesting.
then for sure. Because I tried looking it up.
Have you
and-
not heard about the John Deere thing?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's like their farmers are like suing John Deere.
So all I found was like copyright infringement things.
Yeah.
I could not find whether or not it was illegal to tell people how to do illegal things. Because I need to know, Dick. I really do.
Because I was curious about. I got into a guy's truck. He's
Thinking
one
about
of those.
starting a side biz.
Well, he's one of those dude bros, and he has a
Dude bros.
well, because he has a giant jacked up diesel truck, and he used a word I never heard.
It's my love language.
And I want to look. I kind of forgot it, but basically he took out some limiter and so now he can like dump the fuel in and get the smoke.
Oh, it's something to do with the
Something.
exhaust fluid.
It's something.
Yeah. The
And I go,
DEI
I
or
was like,
whatever
how
it's
did you
called.
figure this out? He's like, well, I found it on YouTube. And that's in the state of Texas. It's like completely legal to do that. Like you can't sell that car because it's been tuned. I think that's the key word, tuned. But yeah, and so I was like, so that's kind of stupid, right? You can't sell this car now.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. Well, I guess it'd be like to just a cash buy or something like that. But I am always amazed, kind of on the same subject of how willing people are to post their L's online, their losses. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look at me, I bought this new car and it's terrible, and here's all the problems I had with it. My kids are making fun of me. I'm like, why are you posting this online? You know, you don't have to do this. If there's no monetary incentive to do this, why are you posting? I guess the same could be said about this show.
The news was posting my
Never mind.
Tesla on fire with a Nazi flag.
Audience of one show right here, Fridays, 10 a.m. Posting our L's weekly.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being humbling yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
Do it once a week with you, buddy, for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Pretty humbling. Did you hear about this Delta flight making an emergency landing in Atlanta back in February? But the story's just now coming out. A maintenance crew found that there was, quote, barely or any possibly visible oil in the aircraft's right engine. That's a terrible quote.
AI wrote it.
Yeah. No visible oil in the engine's aircraft. Okay. Now knowing that this is an actual possibility for a jet engine to have no effing oil in it, I think I'm in the right as I board my next airline flight to say, so,
can we
check the oil in this thing?
Yeah, well, do you think the air technician had that?
I'm going to be that guy.
That toaster feeling or that burner feeling when you leave a house? You know, like, oh, did I leave the burners on?
All the time.
So do you think this guy was
right
like,
next to the iron?
The guy goes, he's looking at the airplane leave the thing, and he's like, 2 hours later he goes,
oh crap,
yeah.
oil.
Yeah, I had the bad oil over here, and the new oil. Oh.
I like this. It said not long after the plane was in the air, quote, possible smoke, unquote, started filling the flight deck. So right as they got in the air, I don't think this thing smells right. Man, that is scary. My assumption is it's not that someone forgot to put it in. I'm hoping
was there not a check engine light?
There was a leak. Yeah, exactly. And the pilot's like, those things come on all the time. We got a few more miles.
We got another engine.
We're good. It says, according to the NTSB's preliminary report, Dick, what does NTSB stand for?
National Transportation something.
Oh, man, you got half. Keep going. You're rolling.
NTSB?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the supervisor
Bureau? So close. Safety Bureau.
Safety Bureau.
Preliminary report, flight attendants in the front and rear of the aircraft all noticed smoke coming through the door and coming out of all the vents on takeoff. They tried to alert the pilots, but initially didn't get a response. Yeah, I think that pilot had a little bit of low shed action going on. Couldn't be bothered. Oh, anyways, I did not know it's a possibility, so new fear unlocked. Speaking of new fears, Dick, are you aware of the latest in men's aesthetics?
No.
This would be eyelash trimming, in which men are cutting their eyelashes to appear more manly. Good God. Now, I will admit, when you see big, long, doughy eyelashes like on a Highland cow or something, it's probably not the first thing you think of as manly. But bro, shaving your eyelashes, not eyebrows, seems really stupid. How about try a push-up instead? I don't know. But of course, doctors are warning against this because eyelashes, Dick, I don't know if you're aware of this, they serve a purpose. They help keep dirt and debris from entering the ocular unit, otherwise known as your eyeball. Would you, and of course, putting anything sharp close to your eye can be dangerous. Dick, would you like to shave your eyelashes? But what if the ladies found it very irresistible?
No. I compromise for no one.
Yeah, I think you'd look great with some really short eyelashes.
I already look great. I don't need...
Who's coming up with this? Well, they've got pictures that are showing all these guys looking all hunky with their eyelashes all shaved. I have to admit, Short eyelashes do make you look a little manly. Never noticed it before.
I still don't notice it today.
Eyelashes, yeah, it's not something I look. You've got to be up pretty close. Like eyebrows,
Well, there's got to be someone with like a condition that you don't have eyelashes.
I knew someone in college who pulled her eyelashes out. This is a condition. This is a psychological condition. And I would see her over there at her computer screen
let's not talk
pulling.
about it. We're not talking about that.
And I'm like, what are you doing? And she admitted to having some sort of
Pulled her
issue.
hair.
Yeah, I didn't pull her hair, dude.
Oh, she wasn't cute.
She may have been. I don't really remember, to be honest.
Like
with
sixth grade, or not sixth grade, was it like
Sorry?
second
What?
grade when we took the hair?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Another dangerous TikTok challenge has prompted urgent warnings from school districts and law enforcement agencies in multiple states and has led to arson charges being brought against a 15-year-old student in New Jersey. Dick, we talk about it often. What is the next TikTok challenge going to be? This TikTok challenge is known as the Chromebook Challenge, which involves teens jamming objects, not that object, Dick, like paper clips and pencils into the USB port of the laptop, causing them to short circuit and in some cases, catch fire. Now, this is a trend I can get down with because it sounds pretty dope.
Not really.
All right, man, how many? No, you could take over and under. How many paper clips is it going to take before this thing
Probably
catches
just
fire?
one.
So all it takes is one,
Yeah. You have to put it in the right slot. Like right there.
so to speak.
You didn't know you could do that?
I don't know what you're talking about. Short circuit it with
Yeah.
one. But the goal here is not to short circuit. The goal here is fire. You've got to have something catch fire to go viral. Obviously,
I like how it's Chromebooks.
the parent in me, those are the cheap ones because
I
those are
know.
the ones that
That's
are
what I'm
issued
saying.
out by
It's
the
like-
school. The schools can give those out now, man. Their soup's cheap, which I'm here with a Chromebook in front of me right now.
Hey, can we test it out?
Oh, sure. It's not like I use
got a
this for
paperclip.
anything else.
I got a paperclip. Here, I got a banana. You want to use that?
Well, some schools in Maryland have said they received up to 10 reports of incidences. Yeah, man, I imagine as a parent, well, of which I am, having to tell my kid, hey,
Don't stick it in there.
don't stick it in there. That's exactly right. That's what most good parents tell their kids, right?
That's a new segment we can come up with.
Don't stick it in
Don't
there.
stick it in there. I think it'd be great. We can get our president back and do a little sound clip for it. I didn't stick it in there.
Well, this particular stick it in there can lead to costly repairs and disciplinary consequences. Little hood rat kids. Now, I imagine, again, as a parent having to pay for this, you're going to be super pissed. But it's like anything else. Some dumb A kid does it, puts it on Soch, and then it becomes a thing.
Because I wouldn't even do it to mine. I would do it to my neighbors.
This is true. Find one that's kind of laying around.
Yeah,
That's
I'd be
the
like,
smart
oh
thing
my
to do.
gosh, your laptop's on fire.
Yeah.
Can we not be in school anymore?
Speaking of flights, we were talking about the Delta flight earlier. A former flight attendant said she was forced to undergo weight checks in the 1980s and had to stay at least how many pounds to keep her job, Dick? In the 1980s, flight attendants had to be under this LB.
I would say 180.
180. Oh, you like them sturdy, huh? No, this woman said she had to stay at 120 pounds
Oof.
to keep her job. What's weird about this is 120 pounds, if you're 5 foot, 5'1", you're probably a healthy weight. This woman was 5'7" and was still told she had to stay under 120 pounds. She said she was super skinny, but she was also worried about getting too large. I don't think that would fly these days, no pun intended, but I will say this. There have been times when I've been on a flight and kind of wish something was enforced because that booty was big, dog, big. And it becomes just a physical, spatial, geospatial issue at that point, whereas she may turn around to serve someone a beverage, perhaps a package of peanuts or some Gardettos, as they give those away now, and that thing is right in your face, because I'm an aisle guy. So I'm getting all the action. I'm getting all the cart. I'm getting all the ladies' rear ends. Dick, are you falling asleep? Your eyes are getting smaller and smaller.
No.
You're getting lower in the chair.
I'm just relaxed. Today's catching up with me.
I just can't believe this, that they
I'm
actually used to weigh these ladies back in the... And I
like
guess
it.
part of it, too...
It was for the plane,
They
dude.
could say, well, hey, extra weight is it's extra fuel. But nah, that's because they wanted these girls to look appropriate for,
I need a
for the times.
See, I would own a Hooters.
They just went bankrupt.
Yeah,
Perfect time
Perfect
for
time to get in it.
it. Pennies on the dollar.
I was called Hoot Hoots.
Hooty hoots.
Hoot Hoot.
Is that kind of like the sack and pack and the pack and sack?
Yeah. What I would do is, I'll talk about my idea. Is gonna be great. I'll talk about.
You don't want to talk about. Oh, it's so great. You don't want others to steal it.
Yeah.
Dick's ideas for restaurants. I'm sure this is going to be riveting, man.
You know, it reminds me of a story. I was doing a production for an HGTV show, and we went to a restaurant, and it was the weirdest encounter because we were hanging out with all ages, all types of people, and like the one place they chose to treat everyone to was like a Hooters, not Hooters, it was like a Bombshells or something like that. I'm like, really, guys? Like, we couldn't just take us to like the local Mexican restaurant? Like, we're at the
See, that was a strategic move on their part. They were testing you to see how inappropriate you would be, whether or not they need to let you go. I think it's a smart move. How well can you stay focused in a bombshell while on the clock?
They actually offered me a job.
Oh, that's right, because you were watching TV, because you don't really understand those themed restaurants now. I understand, yeah.
They just knew I wouldn't be a liability down the road.
Like this guy.
This guy doesn't grab ass.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Might be actually a smart thing to do.
Little do they know, I have a pseudonym.
Little did I know, I've got a trip to the Lowe's
Yeah.
parking lot this
I
weekend.
have my own system of fun. Give me some Vaseline and a unlocked shed at the parking lot of
He
Lowe's.
didn't even lock it. I mean, you figure you could have locked it from the
that's what I
inside,
love
maybe.
about it.
I don't know. Maybe he's wanting to get caught. I don't know.
Maybe it was a TikTok trend we didn't know about.
Yeah. That's the next one. James.
I could see that totally happening to you.
To me?
Yeah, to you.
What? I think I'm offended.
Well, no, I'm saying you encounter it.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant I was on the receiving end of that.
Because I'd be like, wait, is that thing in...
Or the business
Oh,
end of that.
You're not supposed to put it in there.
Let me show you how, buddy.
And then you play the theme song.
James Farthing and his mom. This is a very sweet story about a man and his mom. Won $167.3 million in a Powerball jackpot. And in fact, it was the largest prize in Kentucky history.
Way to go.
That was just back on April 26th. So right at about a month ago, not even a month ago. However, 4 days later, Farthing allegedly got into a fight at a Florida hotel and kicked a deputy who attempted to break it up. Farthing now faces several charges, including a felony count of battery of a law enforcement officer. Just 4 days after spending $2 on a Powerball ticket and winning $167 million, this guy's likely going to be locked up for multiple years because he assaulted an officer.
You go to jail for that?
Yes, Dick, you were the one who was afraid to pass a cop on the side of the road a minute ago. Or
No, I wasn't afraid. I was technically speeding.
Oh, no, this is the story of the officers on the horseback. That's right. You didn't know if you could pass the officers.
Well, I didn't want to spook the horse.
Uh-huh. Now you're going, what? I go to jail if I beat an officer? What's this all about?
I dumped all my smoke on him. I didn't know it was going to be that thing. It's my car. No, I like it. I like these guys.
I think this is funny because on April 28th, he was posing for the picture, with the big check.
Imagine the interest he's going to get.
The interest?
Yeah, because you can't spend it in jail.
Yeah, his mom's going to spend it.
Oh, do you think his mom's going to do that?
Yeah. She may have actually riled up those officers, knowing his short temper.
Man,
I just think it's funny, though.
Family, I like it. That's a family of winners.
Well, he said, quote, it's going to be a good Mother's Day, and he plans to pay off his debt. How much debt does this guy have? $167.3 million. Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious your debt is going to be paid off there.
See, if I won the lottery, I would finally have the bankroll to do all my stupid ideas with you.
Yes, exactly. All your game shows.
I'll get you that spider.
Right.
That 9/11 spider and the life supply
and the blue pill.
And the him chews, the mints.
It says also his girlfriend was allegedly trying to fight guests per the hotel, and she appeared to be, quote, very intoxicated. Well, they were out celebrating all that hundreds of millions of dollars you got.
Cool.
How are we doing on time here, Dick?
We're about there.
We're about there. Is it a good time for the quick hit here at the end of the show?
Yes, it is.
Thank you for looking at the clock. I'm getting really
Don't
bad
put
about
it
doing
in
that.
there.
Dick, do you know who Robert Bailey Thomas is?
No, I don't.
Well, he was an American who created and for a long time published the Old Farmer's Almanac.
Oh, yeah, I know this guy.
Yeah. Do you know what the Old Farmer's Almanac is?
It's like isn't it kind of like a hybrid of hypothetical weather
Yeah,
patterns?
it's
and then-
really cool. So it's an almanac containing not sports scores from the year 2000 and back, like in the Back to the Future, but it's an almanac containing weather forecasts, planting charts, astronomical data, recipes, look at that,
Yeah,
and articles. Topics include gardening, sports, oh, look at that, astronomy, folklore, and predictions on trends in fashion, food, home, and technology. I wonder if this guy could have foretold or foreseen the laptops catching on fire, the Chromebooks, the kids doing the Chromebooks. It's probably in one of these farmers' almanacs. Men will start shaving their eyelashes. Kids will be lighting on their Chromebooks up. Oh, my
and
God.
we'll be having raves in the shed at the Lowe's parking lot.
Well, it says the Old Farmer's Almanac has been published continuously since 1792, making it the oldest continuously published periodical in North America. So that's right, Robert Bailey Thomas, you are our onesie of the week. Posthumously, because he died in 1846.
Didn't see that coming.
Yay! We should end on that one.
Yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in this week.
That's great.
It's always nice to see you, Andrew.
Yeah, buddy.
Everyone, wish us luck. It's our final night for bowling tonight,
Yeah, who
and
cares? No
we'll
one
talk. I care. I like it. I literally am only doing this for you.
Oh, that gaslighting I see now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm falling asleep in my chair.
I can see. We need to go.
Yeah.
Till next week, onesies.
I do want to remind folks before we leave, you can always send us your articles at audienceofoneshow@gmail.com or visit us on Facebook. I know we have a lot of an active Facebook following and stuff like
We
that.
do. Needs to grow.
It needs to grow. Then other than that, we're here every Friday at 10
The
a.m.
Farmer's Almanac tells me to water the audience of Onesie Facebook audience.
And
it shall
also
grow.
it told me to check the oil.
True.
So we'll see you later.
Bye.